There is no better way of empowering someone than giving them words of hope that regardless of your current situation, this is not the end. You can rise up. It is still possible for you to come out of that, addiction. It is still possible to rise up from that fall. It is still possible, to become the person that God intends for you to become.
Definitely. And value the people you are talking to. Empathy is a key element to empowering people.
Yeah.
So I believe empowerment, you don't have to be the head for you to empower people.
Yeah.
So empowerment is one thing that solidifies legacy that lives on. But you have to embody key elements.
Empowering people, if it is not done in the right way, can make people dependent on you. Have you personally empowered someone in your life? Welcome to It Is Still Possible, a talk show that explores the incredible stories of resilience, hope, and triumph in the face of adversity. In today's episode, we are talking about a topic, empowering others. This topic is about showcasing individuals or organizations that are making positive impact in their communities and empowering others to fulfill their full potentials. And friends, our guest for today need no further introduction. He's been a tremendous influence and blessing to my life, and I believe to the life of many. Welcome, Mr. Lahai. Just for the sake of those viewers that may be joining us for the very first time, if you can please introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Isaiah Faye Lahai. I am a citizen of Australia, a father of 5, and I'm married to 1 wife.
That's very good. That's a very brief and very interesting introduction.
Yes.
If husband to 1 wife.
Yes.
Now, my first question for you is, if you could be remembered for one thing, what could that be?
Well, if I'm to be remembered for one thing is having the opportunity to impact lives.
Yep.
Because I believe the world we live in is not our own. And we are just in transit and we can exit at any time. But if you leave a legacy, which I always have the passion and desire to keep doing, it lives on. And some of the legacies that motivates me, people like Nelson Mandela, he, even though he is dead now, but he still lives on in the lives of millions of people around the world. So I am motivated at all times to touch lives of people positively so that when I am dead, at least 1 or 2 people may say, when that guy was around, he did this for us. That's why I'm involved into charity work to support vulnerable children around the world.
That's very good to know that, it is passionate to you and very dear. And if there's one thing that you could remember, you don't mind being remembered for, as someone that empower people. And now my question for you is, what do you mean when you say empowering someone, or I want to empower someone? What does that mean to you?
Well, empowerment has multiple layers. Let us start with, to empower people, you first have to empower yourself. An empty cup cannot fill an empty cup.
Yep.
You have to be full for you to share your cup with someone.
Yeah.
And empowerment has multiple layers. Yeah. For example, in my field of practice as a social worker, a public speaker and entrepreneur, supporting vulnerable children around the world, I empower people by encouraging them to realize their values, to know who they are, and also to know that their current state of being is not the end of their lives. Yeah. And for you to empower people, there are certain key elements that you have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
For example, you first have to know how to communicate with people for you to be able to empower them.
Yeah.
Communication is very important. Even the world we live in, for everything around us to come into existence, it came with communication.
Yeah.
God has to speak words, and those words came into existence. So you have to communicate.
Yeah.
And how do we communicate? You have to value the people you are talking to.
That's very important.
You don't just talk to people because you are in a good position today and you feel you have everything and others don't have. No, you have to value people,
Yeah.
and you have to have empathy
Towards the people.
towards people.
Yeah.
Empathy is a key element to empowering people.
Yeah.
When you have empathy on people, you have the grace to listen.
To the people.
Yes. If you want to work with people in their shoe, you have to listen to them.
Yeah.
And there are cultural differences from many parts of the world. You can't just see somebody, even though you have the desire, the passion to help them, you have to know how to channel the help.
Yeah.
So, by you knowing the person and knowing how to channel help, they will be empowered. But that comes with value.
Yeah.
You can't trash people and you say, I don't give a damn, I'm helping you. If you want, you list. If you don't want. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that type of a help.
Yeah.
So for you to empower people, you have to value them.
People. Yeah. But I know you earlier on touched base on that. You mentioned people like Nelson Mandela, and that's where my question is going. Is there someone in your life, or is there something in your life that inspire you, or that is serving as a source of motivation or inspiration, about empowering people?
There are two people in my life that motivates me every day. The first person as a Christian is Jesus Christ. Jesus came into this earth. He never came with millions.
Yeah.
He came with himself, the mission given to him by his Father, and today billions of people are living to testify of his work.
Yeah.
And as a Christian, I am always empowered by the work of Jesus Christ. And the second person is Nelson Mandela. I specifically focus on him because he did not just came from rosaries and, riches to be who he was. He came from a very dark moment in the life of the people of South Africa when they were faced with apartheid for 27 years. Nelson Mandela went to prison. He was in jail for all those struggle time for the people of South Africa. But what motivated me to really look up to Nelson Mandela is his vision of forgiveness. He said, if you want to know your enemy, you first have to work with them.
Yeah.
You cannot know your enemy if you are not working with them. And that really, when he came out of prison in 1994, that was one thing that he used to unite South Africa that we know today. From apartheid to freedom, and from freedom to unity.
Yeah.
So Nelson Mandela to me is an icon that will live on forever. And his charity work was also one of the elements of his life that touched my life. Regardless of all the struggles he went through, he still believed in investing in people,
humanity. Yep.
investing in humanity. There are many foundations that were created because of Nelson Mandela and his lifestyle. For you to be able to empower people, review your lifestyle. How am I? What type of light am I? The Bible says we are the salt of the earth. When the salt loses its taste, it's useless.
Yep.
So you have to know, am I the type of example my children will follow? Am I a mirror that when my kids stand in, they will see themselves as I am?
Yeah.
So that is first what we have to do if we are to take on the journey of empowerment.
Yeah, I think I will interrupt you right there because you spoke about you starting with the I and then reflecting that on others, and I just want to ask you this very specific question that has to do with you. Have you, like, I know I'm just asking, like, for the benefit of the viewers, have you personally empowered someone in your life?
Oh.
And then how does that, or how did that make you feel?
Well, I have, and I'm still, and I believe I will continue to do until I die.
Yeah.
To the glory of God, I've been able to touch hundreds of lives through my little here and there
engagement
and involvement. I've empowered passionately from my own family and my own works. I have been able to empower hundreds of kids.
Yeah.
Some of whom have graduated from high schools. They are now in universities. And not because I'm rich or because I have all the means, but because I had a vision and I believed in that vision.
Yeah.
That when I help people, that help will go a long way.
Yeah.
I'm a philanthropist. I build schools and support kids.
Yeah.
Currently, I have over 300 kids that are going to school through the works that I do with humanity. And also, I go around talking to people about diversity, education, and also social inclusion, especially in Australia.
In Australia, yeah.
I've spoken to over 300 schools, community organizations.
Yeah.
I've shared platform with 3 prime ministers in Australia,
Yeah.
and governor generals in Australia. And I've been when I was in Tasmania, I was involved into shaping the multicultural policy for refugees and asylum seekers in Tasmania. I was on the chair for the Premier of Tasmania discussing multicultural issues that affect the lives of people. So I believe empowerment, you don't have to be the head for you to empower people.
Yep.
I always refer to from little things, big things grow.
Yeah.
You can empower people from the background.
Yeah.
And I know many, many people that does that. They don't want to be seen. They do it
face,
from
yeah.
the background.
Yeah.
And you can empower people from the front.
Yeah. Either ways.
Being the voice for the voiceless.
Yeah.
So empowerment is one thing that solidifies legacy that lives on. But you have to embody key elements
in your life
to be able to empower people.
What are some of those? If you can just give me 2 of these elements, like that you as someone that desire to empower people, what are some of these elements? Just give us 2 that you need in your life.
One of the key elements is integrity.
Integrity. Yeah.
You cannot be someone that wants to empower people if you don't have integrity. You cannot be telling lies everywhere and then you want to empower someone. It's not possible. You have to have the integrity.
Yeah.
Like Christ said, we have to have the fruit of the Spirit. You have to love people.
Yeah.
You have to care for people. You have to value people as you value yourself. You have to make sure that whatever you are doing is not going to hurt someone.
Yeah.
These are elements. And you have to be a non-judgmental person. Being objective. Don't see someone being a drug addict today and you condemn them. Oh, that's why they are like that because they have done something. No. Every one of us in one stage of our lives, we face issues that we cannot control.
Of course.
And for those viewers that may be facing difficult challenges, those that are facing drugs addiction, those that are facing issues with the law, it is not the end. There is hope for you.
Yeah.
All you have to do is to work on yourself, one piece at a time, and after which you will surely come out with flying colors.
Well, you have just done like a very short empowerment. You speaking directly to someone that may be going through, giving them words of hope. There is no better way of empowering someone than giving them words of hope that regardless of your current situation, this is not the end. you can rise up. It is still possible for you to come out of that, addiction. It is still possible to rise up from that fall. It is
Yes.
still possible, to become the person that God intends for you to become.
Definitely.
And thank you very much for those very empowering words. And then I have a little bit of a concern when it comes to empowerment, because sometimes empowering people, if it is not done in the right way, can make people dependent on you. So how can you empower someone and not make them dependent on you? If I can give you an illustration, in my background, like let's say I have someone back home that I intend to empower, support them financially, for example, but my financial support can become to the point where they are dependent on me. They are solely like dependent on me. If I don't support them or if I don't empower them, like nothing comes out. So how can we avoid making people dependent on you?
Well, I have had a lot of examples of such, wherein when I help people, they believe I'm the bank. Every now and then they will call to ask.
Yeah.
But there is one thing I told people, and I will always say it. Teach people how to fish.
Yeah.
You can give them fish today, but teach them how to fish for themselves.
Yeah.
For example, you can empower people by not just giving them money, but investing into programs that will enhance their livelihood.
Yeah.
By giving them a pathway that if they choose it and they follow it, they can become self-sufficient for themselves.
Definitely.
You can help people with financial support, but do not tell them to depend on your finances because you may not have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it tomorrow, you will not give them. And if you don't give them, they will not be self-sufficient. So helping people to become independent start with engaging them to believe in themselves. When people believe in themselves, they know that if he has done it, I also can do it. They will be empowered.
Yeah.
And many times, people look at their weaknesses and say, I'm not good enough to be who God created me to be.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, I want to let every viewer know that we all are created equally in the image of God after his likeness.
Yeah.
And he has a purpose for every one of us.
Yeah.
Regardless of your background, regardless of your state of being, we all have a purpose in the sight of God. When I go to do public speaking, especially if I'm talking to people that are not from my background, the first thing I tell them that I am in charge. I am the man at the moment.
Yeah.
If
Very
you want to get fruit from me, you have to listen to me.
Yeah.
So you have to place value on yourself.
Definitely.
Don't say, oh, I was involved in drug addiction yesterday, so I'm no more worthless.
Yeah.
I'm no more useful. No, you are a piece, a vessel that God has created for a purpose.
Yeah.
You can never testify without being tested.
Definitely.
You have to be going through tests for you to have a testimony.
Yeah.
You should not give up because of what you have gone through yesterday. It is not the end of your life. So be encouraged and be empowered that yesterday I was a refugee and today I'm sharing platform with prime ministers. I never knew that would come to pass, but it did.
Yeah.
And if it is happening for me, it can definitely happen for any other person, regardless of their background.
Wow. That's I don't know what to say, but that's a very brilliant words of encouragement, empowering. I myself, hearing from you, and I know like this is not my first time hearing from you. I'm a witness to, the things that you are involved in when it comes to empowering in the community, some of the things that you are doing. And I would like you to give one or two advice to, our viewers or mainly our young people, because we live sometimes in societies where it is more of I, myself, and me. And empowering people is not really a priority because empowerment comes with sacrifice, comes with giving, comes with self-denial.
Yes.
So what advice do you have for our young people when it comes to empowering other people?
Well, the advice I can give to our young people, the place we find ourselves today is not heaven. That is the first thing. We are not in heaven.
Definitely.
We can make life better for ourselves here, and we can make life difficult for ourselves here. And no one tree can form a forest.
Definitely.
You need a group of trees coming together for it to be determined a forest.
Yeah.
Do not depend on your own ability alone. Engage with others. Help people not because you want them to help you back. When you help people because you want them to help you, that is not help.
That's not, yeah.
You have to sacrifice freely and not wanting anything in return. For young people out there, many of them may have skills that others don't have. Don't be shy to share your skills. Don't be shy to engage with your colleagues. We live in an individualistic society where people believe they should be who they want to be. It is good, but how long will we continue to be individuals? We need a collectivist society where every piece of the puzzle coming together to form a whole. And when that happens, generation yet unborn will benefit
from that.
But we have a duty of care, not only to ourselves, but to the society around us. I cannot be living a good life and my next door neighbor don't have drinking water and I say I'm good. It doesn't work like that. I don't look at prosperity in that way. For anyone to be able to say, I am better off, people around you have to be better off. When you do that, you will go to bed not thinking someone is coming to break your home to take what you have. When you do that, you will go to bed believing that tomorrow the sun will shine on another person and it will be a good day for the community. Always have that bigger picture wherein I am in this with a community of my peers. And if we all excel, it is better. If I alone excel, it is good, but it is not better. So having that focus and believing that from one piece to a collective of pieces coming together, a forest is formed, can bring out a positive result.
That's very good. That's very good. And I wanted to touch a little bit base. I know I'm going to organize time for that when it comes to what you are involved in, particularly like the school back home, the children that you are supporting. We are not going to go into that today, as I said, because of time. I'm going to organize time. But I want to really know the story behind that. I know empowerment is one of it, but like, what is the story behind it? How did it come about?
Well, supporting children with education came about when I was in the refugee camp. I never believed I could go to university to start with because nobody in my own generation, from my great-grandparent to my parent, nobody went to university. So I never believed I was going to go to university because we never had those opportunities growing up back home. So when I came here, I told myself, if I can afford to go to university, so also every children around the world should have the opportunity to. According to the United Nations, education is a right, a basic human right for every human being on this earth. And that motivated me to know that if I can do a little thing from my own point of view to impact one or two lives, it is helping towards the purpose of having a world that is free of illiteracy. So that pushed me. So in 2011, I used to drive taxi at the time. I told myself, how am I going to get this done? And there was no money. And I have no sponsors. And you can never expect people to give you things that they have not seen you doing yourself. So I started putting money in the cash box. Every day I would put money. That was how I started the school program in 2012. I built a school, the first one, I built it on my own. And I started telling people, this is what I'm doing. And I saw good Australians coming on board to support me. And then the second school in Freetown, that also came on board, and I started sending support to the extent I have to send my wife.
To go in.
Yes, she went there to see the school and give supplies of materials to the kids. And those things are what keep me going, because I believe anything that enters me is not my own, because it's going to go to the,
to the
waste
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But whatever I give out is my own.
Yeah.
And that is the philosophy that keeps me going.
Wow. This is I wish we can like keep going, but because of time, we're gonna stop here for today.
Thank you.
I really would like to have you one more time on the show, or many more, to explore, the topic of the school, because it is worth like exploring, and then we can talk more about that some other time. But yeah, thank you very much. That's all we have for you today. We believe that you have learned a lot, you have been empowered, and if there's any advice that I can give you in addition to what has already been shared, is for you to empower someone. It can be a word of encouragement. It can be you giving hope to someone. And most importantly, don't forget to like this video, share, and comment. God bless you.
Thank you. Please share.